This conference will now be recorded.
and
This
HTML.
conference will now be recorded.
So all the freshers who are having good knowledge of Java and HTML, they can go for this step. So basically, all the experienced Java developers, web developers, other CMS developers, and freshers who just having good knowledge of Java and HTML, they can go for this step. So prerequisites. So sometime back I told you need to know basics of Java, basics of HTML, basics of JavaScript and CSS. Okay. So when I say basics of Java, it means by seeing a Java class, you should be able to understand this is a Java class. These are the variables. These are the methods. This is how to call a method. This is array list. This is hash map, interface, abstract class. So all the basics only. No need deep knowledge of Java. So basics is fine. And basic knowledge of HTML, I guess everyone is having. So no need to say. Then you should have some knowledge of JavaScript and style sheets. Actually, it is not mandatory, but if you have some JavaScript and CSS knowledge, it will help you. You can be a full stack developer in AEM. Okay. So actually, in any AEM project, we have two types of developers: core developers and UI developers. Okay. So core developers have to understand the AEM tool, and you should be able to write some Java programs. You should be able to develop templates, components, and those things. And UI developer has to write CSS and JavaScript. Okay.
Visual, so there should be some knowledge of HTML uh, to get this
Mm.
learner. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Because yeah, okay. I don't have knowledge on HTML part.
No, it is very easy. So you know HTML tags, right? Head tag, body tag, H1, H2, P tag, those tags, right? Or you don't
No,
know that?
no, Visual. I'm new to HTML part, so I'm not aware of
Ah,
that.
okay. So there is some websites, w3schools.com.
Hmm.
Okay. So just go through it. In one day you can learn HTML. It is very easy.
Okay.
Okay, you just need a notepad to type the code and you can learn it in one day. It's not a
Okay.
big thing. Okay.
Okay. And one more thing, I have a doubt. I can see various uh, like you said there are core developers, UI developers, right? For
Mm-hmm.
AEM. I could see there are many while searching for the opportunities. There are many developing options like full stack developer or many authoring like that. Many are there. So
Yes,
if
yes.
we
Actually,
go through this course, what type of
mm-hmm.
developer we can
Hmm.
become and
I'm telling. Yes,
get
I'm
out?
telling. So
Yeah.
in
Okay.
any AEM project, we have different types of resources. So some of us will be developers, some of us will be content authors, administrators, testers. Okay. So when I say developers, there are two types of developers: core developers and UI developers. So in any web application development, there should be UI developers, right? So in AEM also we have UI developers. Okay. So UI developers will concentrate on CSS and JavaScript, and the core developers will work on the AEM tool actually. Okay. So
Okay.
in this training, we are going to cover the core development part. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
And Visual, what about the UI development part? We are not going to cover in this section.
Um, so UI development means you need to know CSS and JavaScript. So here we are totally focusing on AEM. We are not focusing on CSS and JavaScript. So CSS and JavaScript it is expected you should have at least some knowledge. You should be able to fix some bugs. Okay, if you are working a project, if you are getting some UI bugs, At least you should be able to find it out why this bug is coming. So that level of JS and CSS understanding you should have, and we are not going to teach anything on CSS and JS, but how to
No.
use them in AEM, I'm going to teach here.
Okay,
Okay.
so my question was like, after doing this course, I will be able to apply for this UI developer part as well, right?
No, so you won't be able to apply for UI developer because you should have good knowledge of JavaScript and CSS. You will be able to apply for core developer role only.
Okay,
As
okay,
I said,
Vishwal. So,
uh, I was saying like I am a UI developer, right? So I have knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
Hmm.
I am having eight
Yes,
or 4 years of experience in those uh, things as well.
correct. Yeah.
So I can
Mhm.
apply for this UI developer
UI
part after
developer.
doing this course,
Yes,
right?
because you can understand
Yeah.
AEM tool very well. You also know how to
Hmm.
do core development. You also know how to do the UI development. You can be a full stack developer.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Thank you.
okay. So Vishwal, I have my question is how are the opportunities differentiated between code developer and UI developer, Vishwal?
Yes, in any AEM project, if you have 10 people, okay, so there will be five core developers, okay, two UI developers, two
Hmm.
content authors, okay,
Hmm.
and maybe one or two testers
Okay. So maximum opportunities are for core
for
developers.
core development. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Vishwal.
So now come to the opportunities once you learn AEM and what all opportunities you will get. So as you know, AEM is the market leader among all content management systems. Okay, it is having high demand in the market. You will get a lot of job opportunities in comparison to other content management system. All the big IT companies are having a lot of projects in AEM, and if you are getting a job with AEM profile, definitely you get a better package in comparison to the Java developers. Okay, so definitely you will have a good opportunities in AEM. So as I told, we are going to cover the core development part. So at the end of the training, what you will be able to do. Okay. So you can create AEM project. You can create static templates, dynamic templates, create pages. You can create customized components, client libraries, OSGI bundles, Sling servlets, Sling models, query builders, content services. You can create content fragments, experience fragment. You can modify the workflows. You can work on MSM. Okay. So at the end of the training, you will be able to do all these things. And from a core developer, all these things are expected. Okay. Once you join a project, so these are the things expected from you. Okay. You have to work on these things. Okay. So websites developed in AEM. There are a lot of websites developed in AEM. So I just mentioned three of them because these are the websites where I have contributed a lot as a lead developer and architect. Okay, fine. So it is albertsons.com, metlife.ae, wyndhamhotels.com. Okay, these are some of the websites. Okay, so what is AEM actually? AEM is purely a content management system. Okay, so there is a difference between content and data. We'll discuss that going forward. So AEM is a purely content management system. It handles the contents only. It is a headless content management system. Means it will handle it stores the content, it manages the content, and it has different types of outputs. It shows the contents in different formats. It is headless. Okay, it will show the content in HTML format. It will expose the content in JSON format, XML format. So it is headless content management system. Okay, so There is a difference between data and content, so we'll discuss that later. So AEM is used to store content, not data. Okay, so if you are working on a project and you are handling the data, there should be third party legacy system which will be used to store and manage the data. Okay, now come to the course contents. Our course content has two parts, basics and advanced. Okay, so I guess most of you have received this course content before, but let me just go through it once. So in basics, we are going to cover introduction, installation, okay, browse different consoles of AEM, authoring, publishing. We'll discuss about architecture stack of AEM, exploring different properties, Eclipse installation with AEM plugin, create project, static template, page rendering component, sample website structure. We'll create a basic, um, we'll use basic Sightly APIs, open pages and consoles in Touch UI, Classic UI. Okay, then we'll modularize the page rendering component, sling resolution, inheritance of components. We'll build a dynamic navigation component. We'll use loggers. We'll create training title component. We'll create different types of dialogues for the training title component. Okay, different types of edit dialogues. Then we'll create logo component. We'll create design dialog for this. We'll find out the differences between edit dialogues and design dialogues. Then we'll discuss about foundation components, parses, hyperses, breadcrumb. We'll create some dynamic image component. We'll discuss about some complex components. We'll create them. Then internationalization, client libraries. Okay, so these are the concepts which we are going to cover in basics. Okay, actually, these concepts are common in all versions of AEM. So right now in market we have AEM as a cloud, also AEM 6.5. Okay. Earlier we had a 6.0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So in basics, what all concepts we are covering, it is common to all versions of AEM. Now come to the advanced part. Here we are covering dynamic templates, policies, layouts, creating base templates, content fragments, content fragment templates, content fragment variations, authoring experience fragment variations, authoring experience fragment templates, tagging, OSGI bundles. We'll create and use the bundles. We'll discuss about workflow basics. We'll customize the process step of workflow, Sling models, Sling servlets, both path and resource based, query builder, event handler, content services, MSM. Okay, so we are going to cover these things as part of your advanced. Any questions, doubts in course content? Our course duration will be around 30 hours. Okay, every day 1 hour. In every class, we are going to discuss some concept, and based on that concept, we are going to do some exercises. All the exercises should be done by you in your system only. Okay, so I'll simply guide you how to do that. You have to do all the exercises in your system. You have to share your screen and you need to do the exercises in front of all. Okay, so that at the end of the training you'll have a good hands-on experience. Okay, you can work on any AM project directly. Any
So
doubts,
Biswal
questions?
will be getting the
Hmm.
JDK file to install the AEM on a local machines.
Yes, I'll help you to do that. Without that you won't be able to do exercises, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now come to the introduction part. So before we start learning AM, first we need to understand what is CMS. Okay, so what is CMS? CMS stands for Content Management System. Okay, so CMS is a tool using which you can create the website and manage the content of your website dynamically. Okay, so using CMS, you can create the website and manage the content. So what does it mean? Okay, so just so I just open one website, ndtv.com. I told using any CMS, you can create the website and manage the content of the website dynamically. So it is news website ndtv.com, means you can create this website using any CMS and manage the content. So what is content? What is content here? If you see on this page, you will find a lot of images are there. You will find logo, navigation bar, there is some title, there is some text, okay, there is some ads. So whatever you see on this page, everything is content. Okay, so managing the content of your website. Managing the content means you will be able to modify the content, change the content. Okay, change the content means now you can see one image and some text written here. Okay, so after half an hour, you can see there is some other image, some other content will be there. Means the image is getting changed, the text is also getting changed. Okay, so in any CMS system, if you create your website using any CMS system, you can manage the content, you can change the content of your website dynamically. Dynamically means no need to restart your website, no need to shut down your system or restart your server. Okay, your website will be running 24 by 7. But if you refresh the pages of your website frequently, maybe in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you can see the contents are getting changed frequently. So how it is happening? Because your website is created using some CMS, and the CMS provides a facility to manage the content of your website. Okay, so it is a news website ndtp.com. You will find this website running 24 by 7. But if I refresh this page after 20 minutes, I can see some images here. After 20 minutes, if I refresh it, I'll find some other images, some other text on this page. Okay, so the website is, they are not um, restarting the server. They are without um, restarting the server or making the server down, they are able to change the content of your website. So this is called managing the content of your website dynamically. Dynamically means you are not going to restart your server. All your server will always up and running, but contents will be changing. Okay. So now come to different CMSs available in the market. Uh, we have different content management systems available in the market, like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, CrownPeak, Tridian, AEM, Sitecore. Okay, number of CMSs available. Then why we are learning AEM? Why you are not learning WordPress or Tridian, CrownPeak? Why you are learning AEM? Okay, so we'll come to that. So first, we'll discuss about history of AEM. Okay. So actually, there was a company called Day Software. They had a product called CQ5, or was CQ5. Later, Adobe took over that company and they renamed that product from CQ5 to Adobe Experience Manager AEM. So now it is sorry, now it is AEM. Earlier it was CQ5. It is not recorded. Okay. So why AEM is in demand in the market? Okay. Why everyone is preferring AEM? AEM is a product of Adobe. Adobe is a very good brand in the market. All the customers have trust on Adobe. That is the first reason AEM is in demand. Second reason, Adobe is having a product called Adobe Marketing Cloud, AMC. Okay, so in that product we have number of tools. Okay, let me go to that. So we have number of tools in that product. So we have AEM, Adobe Experience Manager, Adobe Analytics, Adobe Target, Adobe Campaign, Adobe Audience Manager. So like this, there are number of tools in Adobe Marketing Cloud. So Adobe sells Adobe Marketing Cloud. They don't sell AEM individually. They don't sell Adobe Campaign individually. So when customer buys Adobe Marketing Cloud, they will get all the tools. Okay. So now they got the tools. What they will do with these tools? Are these tools are really helpful to them? Okay. Yes, those tools are really helpful. How? So using AEM, they can create the website and manage the content of the website. But what is the use of analytics, campaign, target, audience manager, and all? Okay. So why one company launches the website? Because they want to generate some revenue from that company, from that website, directly or indirectly. Okay. So to launch one revenue generating website, what all things are required? Okay. Adobe Marketing Cloud provides all these things. For example, let's say this website is created using some CMS. Okay. And on this website, you will find a lot of ads, advertisements. Okay. So how will so the so by showing the ads, your company can generate some revenue directly or indirectly, right? So how will show the ads? If you are developing your website using AEM, or you can say using Adobe Marketing Cloud, so using AEM, you can create the website, manage the content, and there is a tool called Adobe Campaign. We can create the ads in the Adobe Campaign tool. We can integrate AEM with Adobe Campaign. That integration is very easy. You just need to provide credentials. Once it is integrated, whatever campaigns you created in Adobe Campaign, you can show them on your AEM pages. Use them on your AEM pages. Okay. So if you are developing your website using some other CMS, CrownPig or Tridian or some other CMS, and you want to show the ads on your screen, so you have to buy some third-party campaign tool. You need to integrate your CMS with that campaign tool. That integration will take a lot of time, effort, and cost. Okay. So definitely you will prefer Adobe Marketing Cloud because you are getting AEM, you are getting Adobe Campaign to show the ads. Okay. This is just one example. I'll give one more example. Let's say I watch this website ndtv.com every day. I am interested in sports news. So next day when I open the website, they will show me the sports news as a priority. How it is happening? Because they have captured my navigational activities. They have analyzed it. Based on that analysis, they are showing me the personalized content. If you are using Adobe Marketing Cloud, using AEM, you can create the website, manage the content, and you can integrate Adobe Target, Adobe Analytics tool to achieve this personalization functionality. Okay. If you are using Adobe Marketing Cloud, you will get AEM, you will get Adobe Target and Adobe Analytics in the same package. Okay, no need to reach out some other vendors. But if you are using some other CMS and you want to achieve this personalization functionality, you may need to reach out some other vendors to buy some third party analytics tool, third party target tool. Okay, so that is the reason all the customers are preferring AEM because they are getting a complete solution from Adobe Marketing Cloud. They don't have to go to different vendors for different things. Okay, but if you are using um, some other CMS, you have to buy some third party tools and you have to integrate them. That integration takes a lot of time, effort, and cost. Okay, so that's why all the customers are preferring AEM. What about the content authors? So what is a content author? So sometime back I told you managing the content of your website, right? Managing the content means changing the content. So now you can see some image here. After 5 minutes, I want to show some different image. Who will do that?
Biswal, I'm not able to hear your voice.
Okay, someone
Hey,
has
Bis.
muted. Someone has muted me. Okay, I guess you are able to hear me right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Mm, who is
Yes, you are
muting?
audible.
Hmm. So why all the business users are preferring AEM? You understood, right? So why content authors are preferring AEM? So let's go to the same website again. So the job of content author is they will manage the content of your website. Now we are showing some image here. After some time, I
You,
want to show.
your screen sharing is not visible, Visual.
Yeah, I stopped it. Okay, let me share.
Okay.
Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, it's
Are you
visible
able?
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So content authors are preferring AEM. Why? AEM provides a very friendly and flexible environment to manage the content. I'm giving an example. I'm displaying some image here, some text here. I want to change this. So how can I do? Let's say I'm a content author. Simply, I need to open this page. There will be a separate URL for that. I have to open the page. Once I open the page, I'll be able to see all the contents. I'll double click on the image. One widget will open. I'll drag and drop new image. Click OK. Image got changed. I'll double click on the text. One widget will open. I'll type the new text. Click OK. Text got changed. It is very easy to change the content of your page if you are creating your website using AEM. But if it is some other CMS, you may need to find out some folder, some subfolders, some configuration files. You have to do some changes in that file. Then you have to open your website, test it. If it is not working, find out some other config file. So it will be a hectic task for the content authors. If it is AEM, very easily you can manage the content. That is the reason all the content authors are also preferring AEM. What about developers? AEM provides a lot of things inbuilt. Inbuilt means a lot of inbuilt APIs and libraries. Using them, you can create your templates, components, okay, whatever you require, you can create them, okay. And AEM provides one sample web application for us. When you install AEM in your system, you will find one sample web application, sample website, okay, they created for us. Because we are using AEM, you are going to create the website and manage the content, right? So how things will be done, you can refer that existing sample website provided by them, okay. You can refer how things are implemented there, and you can implement the same thing in your website, okay. So they provide one website or sample application for developers help, okay. And AEM is also very easy to learn. That's why all the developers are also preferring AEM, okay. So that's why AEM is in demand in the market. Okay. So now come to the instances of AEM. So there are two instances, author and publish. Okay. So what is author instance? What is publish instance? So author instance is for development. Your website will be created in author instance. Okay. So in your author instance, the complete development will happen. So the developer and the content authors work on your author instance to create the website. So your website and its pages will be created by the content authors actually. How the content author will create the page? Okay. So to create a page in AEM, we need a template. Okay. So what is template and all we'll discuss later. So content author needs a template to create the page. We need to create multiple pages, a lot of pages, right? So to create those pages, we need templates. So from where the content author will get the templates, the developer will create the templates, and content author will use those templates to create the pages of your website. Okay. Now we created the pages. Pages are blank, empty. You want to show some content on those pages. You want to show some images, some text. So how will show the contents? He needs components. From where he'll get the components? The developer will develop it. Once the component is developed, he'll drag and drop the components on the pages, and he can show some content on the pages. Okay. So our developer will develop templates, components, authoring interfaces, Java classes, JavaScript, all those things in author instance. And content author use the template to create the pages, use the components to show the content on the pages. So all the activities will happen in your author instance. The complete development happens in your author instance. Your website is ready in author instance. Now you have to expose your website to the end users. Why you are creating your website? Because for the end users only, right? So whatever we have developed, created, we have to expose everything to the end users. You have to publish from author instance to publish instance. Publish instance is exposed to the end users. Okay. So now go to the same website again. So whatever you see on this page, whatever content you see, everything are coming from publish instance, but it was developed in author instance. Okay. Sorry. So publish instance is just like a container which contains the latest content of your website. Okay. Whatever you want to show to the end users, it will come from the publish instance. Okay. This stable content or latest content of your website should be there in your publish instance. So author instance and publish instance. Got it? Any questions and doubts on this? Okay. So now come to how the content flows from the content authors to the end users. Okay. So I told the content authors are the persons who are going to create the pages of a website, who are going to author the content on the pages. Okay, let's say in your project you have 4 content authors. So content author A created some 10 pages, authored the content on the pages in author instance and published it. So you can have a single publish instance as well as multiple publish instances. Okay. So content author created 10 pages, published. Content author B created some 20 pages in author instance and published. Content author C created 5 pages and published. Okay. So you can have only one author instance and single or multiple publish instances. Same author instance will be used by all the content authors. Okay. So now some pages are created in author instance and it was published to the publish instance so that the end users can see them. Now the end user type the URL. Okay. Type the URL of your website or any page. What will happen when they type the URL? Press enter. One request will be created. That request will fetch the content from your publish instance, but that request will not directly hit your publish instance. That request will hit dispatcher. What is dispatcher? So dispatcher is a tool which sits in between your publish instance and the end user. It is responsible for caching and load balancing. So dispatcher is a caching and load balancing tool which sits in between your publish instance and the end user. All the requests will go through the dispatcher. Okay. So the end user types some URL, entered, and request created. Request hit the dispatcher. Now what the dispatcher will do? It will redirect that request to the publish instance, and it will retrieve the content for that request. Okay, and it shows to the end user. At the same time, it will store the static contents in a temporary storage device. Sorry. Okay, it will store the static contents in a temporary storage device. Okay, so after 5 minutes, same user refresh the page. What will happen? The request will hit the dispatcher. Now dispatcher will hit the publish instance, but this time only for the changed content, and all other static content it will retrieve from the place where it is stored for the first time and display it to the end user. So in this way your page will load very fast. Okay, so dispatcher is responsible for caching. So this process is called caching. So dispatcher will hit the publish instance, retrieves the content, stores the static content in the web server. Okay, and shows to the end user. So next time when you hit the same URL or publish it, refresh the page, the dispatcher will retrieve only the changed content from the publish instance. Okay, all of the rest contents will come from your temporary storage device. Okay, so this process is called caching. Then load balancing. What is load balancing? Okay, let's say you have only one publish instance. You can have single or multiple publish instances in your project. Okay, let's say you have only one publish instance. Take example of Amazon.com. Let's say they have only one publish instance. Okay, and let's say 1000 users trying to do some transaction at a time on Amazon.com. Okay, what will happen? So a lot of requests will be created and all the requests will hit the dispatcher. Now dispatcher will redirect all the requests to the single publish instance because they have only one instance now. Okay, now what will happen? The instance will become slow. Okay, because a lot of requests are hitting the same instance, right? So the instance may become slow or may crash also. So to avoid that, they have to create multiple publish instances, and all the publish instances will have the same content. Okay, so now same, let's say Amazon installed 10 publish instances, and all publish instances have same content. Same 1000 users trying to access Amazon.com at a time. So they will type the URL, requests are created, Request will hit the dispatcher. Now dispatcher will redirect first 100 users to publish A, next 100 to publish B, next 100 to publish C. It will distribute the load among different publish instances. This process is called load balancing. Okay, so dispatcher is responsible for caching and load balancing. It retrieves the content from publish instance and shows to the end user. Okay, so here authors created your website, created the pages, authored the content on the pages in author instance and published it. So all the contents, all the website will be, everything will be there in your publish instances now. When end users type the URL, the request will hit the dispatcher. Dispatcher will do caching and load balancing and retrieves the content from publish instance and shows to the end user. So this is how the content flows from the content authors to the end users. Any questions, doubts on this?
Hey,
Yes.
Biswal, I had a question.
Yes.
So, I actually missed. So, we have only one author instance, right? So, all the authors basically
Hmm.
author the content in only one authoring instance, which gets pushed to the publish instances.
Yes. So actually, for example, you have a dev environment, QA environment, and stage environment or prod environment. Okay.
Uh-huh.
In dev environment, you have a single author instance. We have
Mm.
5 content authors. All the 5 content authors will use the same author instance to create the pages, author the content on the pages. Okay, the
Mhm.
entire website is created there. Okay, once it is created, it needs to be published into multiple publish instances. Whatever you created in author instance,
Mhm.
everything needs to be published to all publish instance. All publish instance will have the same content.
Got you. Okay.
Okay, now when the end users request for something, their request will hit the dispatcher and retrieve the content. Dispatcher will do caching and load balancing. It will redirect your request to some publish instance, publish A, B, C somewhere, and it
Got
will
you.
retrieve the content and displays to the end user.
But in case you have like more than one authoring instance,
Hmm.
so will the authors, work on different
Hmm.
authoring instances, or they will
Usually,
always work only?
yeah, usually we'll have only one author instance. But if you have multiple author instances, so you can create a package. Let's say you have 5 content authors who are working on one author instance. There is another content author working in some other author instance. So whatever he has done, he can create a package of that and install in the other instance. Okay, so that where everything will be in one author instance. Okay, from there it is going to be published.
Okay, I didn't completely catch that, Biswal. So you are saying that you could have like more than one authoring instance, but then whatever authors are doing in authoring instance one,
Hmm.
you have to take that and then put it in authoring instance two, and then that from authoring instance two it goes to all the publishing servers.
Yes. So you can do that. I am saying you can do that, but the ideal in any project, the ideal environment is single author instance.
Single authoring instance. And
Yes.
is there a common practice to have like to basically back up um,
Yes.
and have like
Content.
one more authoring instance?
Mm, no, no. Whatever content you have developed today, you can take a backup of that. Okay. So it
Okay,
will be there. You can create a package and take a backup of that. And you can create another author instance also and deploy and install that package to other
to that authoring
author
instance.
instance. Hmm.
Okay, got you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we can cover this much today. This is the introduction or demo class. So in the next class, actually we are going to cover different consoles of AEM. Okay, so you can just communicate with Srinivas, our training organizer, for rest of the things. Okay, for enrollment and all. Okay, he'll guide you. Srinivas can share his phone number and email ID with you all. You can just go through that. Okay, any other questions, doubts till now?
Thank you so much, Biswal. I'm really looking forward to this course.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
just to get
thank
in touch with
you.
the,
Thank
uh,
you so much. Yeah. So myself, yeah, I have a bit knowledge of AEM administrator. Yeah. So I'm able to easily catch up with this the author, publisher, dispatcher part. So yeah, I'm
mm,
also looking forward to
correct.
get to know more about the AEM developing part.
Mhm. Yeah. So we are going towards that only. So slowly we'll go through step by step. And
Sure, sure. Thank you.
okay.
Thank you, Biswa.
Yeah. Thanks. So just get in touch with Srinivas. He is our training organizer. Srinivas or Sampath. So they'll help you to do the enrollment and all. Okay. Thank you guys. So see you tomorrow same time.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.